going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? We'll let everybody get in here. I'm going to shout it out real quick on Twitter. Let's see. All right, so okay. All right, we're good. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Baller1103. What's up, bro? What's going on, y'all? Let me get everything set up in front of me real quick. Open up Props Made Easy. Open up Green Light. All right. How's everybody doing, man? Welcome into the live stream. I'm like, what? I'm making decent time. I'm 18 minutes late. That's decent for me. Sometimes I'm an hour late. Sometimes I'm 30 minutes late from what I say. But we're good. Let everybody get in while I set up real quick. Got Props Made Easy. Refresh this. Okay. What's up? We're gonna talk DFS, player props, whatever y'all want, man. Get some big money tonight. It's gonna be a big week. I already feel it. I just feel it in my loins right now. I just feel it deep down. This is a big week. We're due for it, of course. Last week was ridiculous. All right, cool. Drop a like down below as you guys head in here. Let everybody work their way in, and then we'll start. All right, give it a couple minutes, and then we'll be good. It's a nice slate, though. We got some good value. It's a nice slate. All right. Let's do it. Titus 420. What's up, bro? How's everybody doing, man? How's everybody doing? I know I slacked on the live streams a little bit last week. I didn't go live as much as I originally had planned to go live. So I'm going to make up for it this week and go live as much as I possibly can. I'm going to try to go every day. We'll see what happens, though. What's up, man? Mr. Tehran 513. What's up, bro? What's going on, man? I'm excited for this one. It's a good one. We got good value on the slate. Let me check out what the props are looking like right now. I've gotten some really good value in the props early on. Isaiah Livers is popping for props right now. Makes complete sense. That team is thin. The team is very thin. For sure. It's your boy, Wayne's World. What's up, man? Man, I loved Kessler over 28.5 fantasy score, but entire community is on it, so it makes me nervous. Yeah, I feel you. I don't really do the fantasy score too much. I mean, I should probably do more of it, but I like to focus on the main stats. That's what I like to lock in on. Kessler's fine, though. For sure. Thinking double plus 3 stocks. Bankroll question. On average daily, how much should we bet? On average daily, how much should you bet? It depends on what you have in your account. What's up, CEO? What's up, man? It depends on what you're working with. Let's say you have $100 in your account. Let's just make an example. Let's say you have $100 in your account. I normally tell people, keep it kind of don't go all the 100, don't go half of, maybe 25 out of 100 I'd probably bet with. Work your way up from that 100 to a more comfortable position, and you can start raising up how much you're betting, but just stay smart with it. When sports are going wacky, you know what I'm saying? Like when you notice that shit's just kind of off the wall and shit, maybe tone back a little bit, play it a little safer for a little while until things start feeling like they're getting more, normal, stuff like that. Sometimes sports betting goes through swings of where it's like it's hard to get it right sometimes. You know what I mean? Like it's almost nearly impossible to get it right sometimes with sports betting because shit's just so off the wall. Shit just does it goes so different than what is expected it to go, and that's out of your control. There's nothing really you could do about that. That's why bankroll management is so important because there is that aspect that you don't have control over, and you got to just play it safe, don't go crazy. A lot of people would bet damn near all they have in their account every night, and that's why they probably aren't betting as consistently as they could right now because they're running low on money. Drew Holiday over 11.5 rebounds, assists versus the Kings. Let me check out where I got Drew Holiday for rebounds, assists real quick. I'm on the props made easy prop tool. I'll go on over there and see what I got for you. Make sure you go over to propsmadeeasy.com, grab your subscription over there. Only $15 a month. Let me see. Let me find him. Let me find him real quick. So you want Drew Holiday over 11.5. All right. So I will say that he's not popping at the top. I will say that. Drew Holiday. Where do I have you at, buddy? Drew Holiday. I'm not seeing him on here right now. I'm just blanking on him right now. I'm not seeing him on the tool right now, to be honest with you. Unless I'm skipping over it. Am I skipping over it? Let me see. Yeah, I'm not seeing him for rebounds, assists right now. So I could tell you at the moment. Appreciate it. Makes sense. Yes, sir. DFS Player 7. What's up, bro? Neil Barsky. What's up, man? How's everybody doing? Welcome in. College basketball is the play when the tournament starts. Teams have 5 to 6 man rotations and players playing entire game. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. I've considered working with the people at Props Made Easy to make a college basketball tool. Probably won't start that till next season, but probably we'll have a college basketball tool added onto propsmadeeasy.com by this time next year. By the beginning of the season next year, most likely for college basketball, probably for college football. Like I said, propsmadeeasy.com, man, we're going to continue just adding shit. You know what I'm saying? So Giannis or Sabonis DK today? Giannis or Sabonis? It kind of just depends on what your money's looking like. I have Sabonis at 48 and I have Giannis at 55. So I have them fairly close. For a 2,000 savings, probably Sabonis point per dollar. I'll get my 2 questions out. Murray over Trey as leverage, okay, and Paul or Ayton last man in. Okay, so Murray over Trey as leverage. You're asking me if I would do that? I understand the thought process on that. So I understand why you would want to pivot off of Trey for like a DeJounte Murray, obviously. So that's fine for leverage, yes. If you're making multiple lineups, that's fine. Just understand that Trae Young going off is a high probability. And if that happens, then Murray most likely probably isn't. And then it kind of kills you. So if you're making multiple lineups, cool. If not, maybe make one with Murray, make one with Trae. Get both avenues of that Atlanta team. Like if Atlanta smashes like Vegas thinks they will, Trae or Murray are going to have big games. Okay, that's self-explanatory. So if Trae ends up busting or getting hurt or something, the Murray version will go crazy, or vice versa. As leverage, okay, Paul or Ayton, last man in. Paul or Ayton? I have Chris. No, I have Ayton. I have Ayton slightly over by about 1 fantasy point. So I would go Ayton. Much love, Cam. Appreciate you. Young Pasty. Appreciate you, bro. Or Pasty. Not sure how to say your name. Finished 9th out of 5.9K last night. Was in the winning 5K until the second half of the late game. Solid day. Oh, that's great, bro. That's awesome, man. Isaiah Jackson at the crib again tonight with turnaround and the nuts is the nuts again. Can't be 4,600. Yeah, I love him. Love Isaiah Jackson. Everybody's going to. It's not going to be like a big surprise. Everybody's going to kind of play that, which is cool. I mean, tonight feels like the night where you kind of play the obvious value guys and you maybe get different on certain spend ups. Like if Jason Tatum's going to be super chalky, maybe you take the side of it of like, okay, Boston is in a huge blowout situation. If Tatum's going to be super chalky, I'll just pivot to a different route. I'll do it a little differently. So yeah, I mean, today's the day where I grab the value that you need to grab and then maybe pivot off the higher owned guys. Greenlightdfs.com. Join the squad if you haven't already. Big week coming, y'all. I'm about to pin the link real quick. Oh, I can make it so it's an actual link though. Hold on one second. I'm gonna put the Greenlight link for y'all right here. Big DFS week coming, y'all. I feel it in my soul. We're due for a takedown too. We're at the end of the season. Good things are coming, baby. Here's the link for Greenlight DFS. Boom. Go join that up. Grab your weekly. Just go ahead and get locked in a weekly. If you're in here right now and you don't play DFS, you're just fucking letting yourself down. If you love player props, then yes, you're gonna love DFS. You need to play DFS. I'm curious in what center you like on Fanduel. All right, so my favorite center on Fanduel. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up because I have it DK up right now. Okay, I'll come back to your question. Ant-Man from the A. What you think about him in Atlanta tonight? Interesting for sure. With him being from there. That's a cool little narrative. You know what I mean? He'll probably have some family there, all that good stuff. So hey, drop a like down below if you haven't already. Damn, we typing at the same time. Same exact thing too. Yeah, like running back Edwards with Trae Young. Yeah. So obviously, we're probably gonna have some Atlanta, or you might be interested. If you are interested in some Atlanta, running it back on the other side with the Minnesota plays makes sense. Ant-Man would be the only one I trust, to be honest with you. But yeah, Trey run back with Edwards makes a lot of sense to run that game back. Game should be a high-scoring game, all of that stuff. Yeah, it should definitely be a high-scoring game there in Atlanta for sure. So I don't think you can go wrong there. Ant-Man is obviously the big usage guy there for Minnesota. So yeah, for sure. I'm totally down to get involved as much as I can in that game for sure. For sure. All right. Collins feels too cheap. Collins is always pretty cheap, man, but he is up and down. He's not very consistent. And Nas, obviously. Oh, yeah, of course. It's going to be a big deal. Waiting on seeing what the lineups are later is going to be big. And as you guys all know, keeping updated and keeping your continuously updating where you can, where injury news comes out, is your biggest benefit. Okay. Because at the end of the day, that's what can set you apart from a big group of people, by kind of catching information that other people might not have the time to catch. I think Jaylen Brown's a great pivot tonight. What do you think? Jaylen Brown? I hope that's what you're talking about. Not some other Brown that I'm not thinking of. Jaylen Brown's fine. Let me go back to the FanDuel question, though. I have FanDuel up. Okay, my favorite center on FanDuel. Okay, good question. So my favorite center on FanDuel, it kind of depends. I'm kind of on a wait and see approach here because I do really like Gobert against Atlanta tonight, and that would be one of my favorite centers. But if you're looking point per dollar and you want one of these value guys, Jalen Smith has some interest to me. He's not super duper cheap though. Honestly, when it comes to spending down, there's not a ton of spend down options. So I'm kind of on that spend up. Yeah, I really like Gobert, but we're kind of on a wait and see there. I like Ayton. So yeah, James Wiseman at 6'7", you can still play him. His price is bumped up, but you can still play Wiseman as well. Isaiah Jackson 100% over on FanDuel and on DK. Love him on both sides. For sure. He's a big time fantasy point per minute contributor. He's really solid. Trey Lyles, probably not digging that deep. I'm not going to be digging that deep tonight, probably. Yeah, no, I'm not going to have any Trey Lyles. Which stud you prioritizing in cash, Tatum, ABC, or anyone else? So I talked about it briefly when I did the high five video. So Tatum worries me a little bit because of the blowout situation here. Obviously, they're the second highest team total, but it is a big spread against Houston. Big spread. So that bothers me a little bit. When it comes to spend ups, though, I mean, Tatum's one of the better options on the slate. If Giannis plays, he's going to be interesting. If Kyrie plays, he's going to be interesting with no Luka. There's some options. Sabonis, Trae Young. These guys are all in options. You might have to. I mean, the slate might only give you like a Tatum. Like you might have so much value everywhere where you just got to spend up, and Tatum might be your play, and he's fine. It worries me a little bit though, but I probably still say Tatum slightly, but it's a little bit, tough, man. It kind of depends on your roster construction and what you're looking at later. You might, like I said, you might be forced at it, but as of right now, probably Tatum slightly. But I don't feel fantastic about Tatum, to be honest. Livers PRA and fantasy look free as fuck. 19.5 PRA, 25.5 fantasy scores. So Livers is popping also on the NBA prop tool at propsmadeeasy.com. His best value prop right now is points plus rebounds. Over on points plus rebounds. Livers went 7 for 20 and still had 24 PRA and 6 ties. Yeah. Livers is solid. What else we got? Livers is definitely solid. And I already have him locked in for points and rebounds. I really like him today. He should hit. Let's get it. Drop a like down below if you haven't already. Chain dog. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Chris Dunn for GPPs? GPP. Let me see. Chris Dunn. He's not popping very well for me today. Hold on. I just don't see the minutes there for him, really. You know what I mean? I just don't see the minutes for him. I probably wouldn't. Even with the and he's 5'5" on DraftKings, especially. No, not doing that unless some surprise player is out for Utah and he gets that extra run. But outside of that, no, thank you. No, thank you. I mean, if you're making everything's up in the air. If you're making 150 lineups, you're making a whole bunch of lineups. You know what I mean? Then everything's in play. If you're playing just one, maybe even a handful, I don't think you need a Chris Dunn type of play. Favorite spend ups tonight: Jason Tatum, Giannis, Trae Young, Sabonis. That group of guys right there. Kind of still have to wait on this situation with Kyrie. If Kyrie plays, then he's interesting as well. No Luka. He's somebody you have to consider. And based off roster construction, you'll be able to have more of an idea later on once we get starting lineups and stuff. Based on where the best value is, you'll have an idea of what position is best to spend up on to be the most optimal. And that's what it's going to come down to. Tatum gets me in these type of spots more than not. What do you mean? He does bad for you? Tatum is one of those guys where I always in this situation, he's probably going to smash because Jaylen Brown's in, everybody's healthy there, and they're in a huge blowout spot. So Tatum's probably going to go crazy, right? Just because it doesn't make a ton of sense to play him because he's not getting injury bumps like that, and the spread is huge. So yeah, watch him go out and go crazy, right? But when I play him, when there's no Jaylen Brown, no multiple guys on the team, and he's a high total, he goes out and duds, or he has 15 points at the end of the half, and I'm like, what the hell? And then he ends up having a good second half and kind of barely gets to where I needed him to go. But it's not often that Tatum really gets to where I really need him to go. He's one of those guys for me. Favorite player under 4K. My favorite overall value play under the 4K mark is probably going to be the boy from Detroit, Eugene Omori Yui. I'm just going to say Eugene. Eugene's my favorite. I like RJ Hampton in Detroit as well. Rodney Magruder. I like those values from there. Onyeka Okongwu and that huge total. I have him around 20 minutes. I mean, he's a solid fantasy point per minute contributor. He's an option as well, for sure. Thoughts on Tyus Jones? So Tyus Jones is another one of those guys that I can't seem to get right. Goes for 50-something when I don't have him. I'm not going to have a ton of Tyus, to be real with you. He just isn't I have him projected at 35. So at 7.3, a little bit less than 5x. Um, he's okay. He's fine, but Tyus at 7.3 is hard for me to pull the trigger on. It's really hard for me to pull the trigger on that. As a last minute utility spot. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Tatum has cost me in this type of spot with blowout concerns and any type of concerns. He's not been as bad this year when playing him. Yeah, man. It's up and down. It's up and down, man. Through the research that I've done, he's in a spot to have a solid game. In no way am I going to tell you how to fade him. I'm not going to tell you to fade Jason Tatum because that's, you know, you want some Jason Tatum tonight. Just, you know what I mean? But the problem is when you're limiting, let's say because most people who play DFS are going to play a limited amount of lineups. They're not going to max enter 150 lineups. Let's like just being realistic. The regular DFS player is not max entering. So because of that, you really have to take a little bit more into consideration of like the risk of a situation like a Tatum in a huge blowout position like he is. And at the end of the day, it could easily be a Jaylen Brown day. Like if any of these other guys get incredibly hot and take anything away from Jason Tatum, he might not hit value. Going back to Nemhard tonight, absolutely. Love Pacers, love Detroit. Those are the main spots that we're going to go with. My favorite values on the slate overall, you'll notice a common theme here. Isaiah Jackson from the Pacers, Killian Hayes from Detroit, Duarte, Eugene, Andrew Nemhard. All my top values are Pacers Detroit. And like I've talked about a million times, when it comes to roster construction, that's where your biggest thing's going to come in later, is where you have the best value and where you is most optimal to spend up, and where maybe you need to grab a value at a position and spend up at a different position. So that's where what it's all about, man. Finding that optimal way to construct a lineup. Especially for me, I build one optimal lineup each night, and I'm going for easy cash yet upside. Is prop tool being updated currently? Black screen. No, it should be fine. I have it up right now. Let me see. Oh, yeah, they must be working on it for a second. Yeah, probably updating a few picks real quick. I understand what everyone's saying. He and Brown, I struggle getting right. When I play one, the other goes off. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like it's hard to really pinpoint it. Now they have a solid total. They're up there in that team total, like the Hawks, which is great. But that spread is big, so I prefer some Hawks. Like I prefer maybe go like DeJounte Murray, Trae Young, but those are both guards, so it just depends on your roster construction. Who's the best late pay up from the 9 p.m. games? Booker, Sabonis, Steph. Okay, from the late slate of games, my favorite spend up is obviously going to be Giannis, and then Booker, then Sabonis, and then Curry in that order. We back, yes, sir. Oh, the prop tool's back. Great, yeah. Sometimes they might be making small tweaks and it'll take it down for just a brief second, not long. Brown dropped a 50 in 32 minutes last time he played Houston. See, hey, it comes down to like your risk tolerance, right, and what you feel comfortable with. Like at the end of the day, let's say I fade Jason Tatum tonight. Okay, let's say I fade Jason Tatum tonight. All that I'm going to hear on Twitter is how dumb I am and how it's so obvious and I should have taken Tatum. You know what I'm saying? Because even with the blowout situation, nobody wants to pay attention to that early. After the fact, if he goes and drops 70 after the fact, yeah, of course. But before the fact, nobody wants to consider the fact that there's major blowout potential here. And I mean, he could play low 30s minutes realistically. And if he does that, is he hitting value at that price tag? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Like realistically, like let's look at him. Jason Tatum's 10.9, so 11K. You need 66 for 6X. You need 66 for 6X. He has hit that 3 of his last like 10. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. He's had some huge games. Oh, actually, that's an all-star game. I'm not counting the all-star game points. So he's got the 1, 2, 3. He's got 3 in like his last 10. Okay. But outside of that, I mean, they're few and far between. Against Houston, it's a solid spot. He got 60 against them last time, I believe. So, I mean, is he going to hit 6x? Probably not. Do you need 6x? Maybe not. You might just need 5x. Could he hit that? Absolutely. But 6x is probably going to be tough for him to reach tonight in a blowout spot, but we'll see. Book about to hoop again. But at the end of the day, like I've said too, you might be forced to play Tatum because it just goes together perfectly. And if that's the case, then that's the case. What else we got? Book about to hoop again. Him and Clay hate each other. Okay, so I do have Booker as a solid option. I have him as one of the top spend ups. I have him 4th overall when it comes to spend ups today. Point per dollar, I do have obviously I do have Trae Young higher. And Sabonis. I like Desmond Bain. Certain guys, I have some guys that are popping pretty good point per dollar around there. So what's my projection on Ayton? DeAndre Ayton, I have at 39, almost 40 for DeAndre Ayton. And he's 7'5", so it makes him a very good play today. But remember, we've got great value, y'all. Okay, so DeAndre Ayton, for example, DeAndre Ayton goes to center, right? He's locked to center. You have Isaiah Jackson. So if you're going Ayton, you're going double center. Okay? So just keep that in mind. That's how your build would be. You're going to have to go double center. Don't fade Jackson. Derek White doesn't look bad either because of matchup and blowout concerns. So Derek White in a blowout probably won't see a ton more minutes. I mean, they really like playing this guy, so I don't think he's going to see a ton more minutes, if it did end up being a blowout. But yeah, he's serviceable for sure. I have him at 5x. So he feels like a safe, solid floor option against Houston today. And the game is in Houston. That's another point that I was thinking about earlier, that while I was kind of contemplating the Tatum situation, I was like, okay, the game is in Houston. So there's a better probability that Houston can keep it close in Houston than if it was in Boston. So it's interesting. Yeah, he's my utility last minute. Yeah. If Giannis is out, do you like Portis for 7-1 or save 1,000? So Portis has been out for a while. Not a while, 3 games, something like that. So Portis and these other guys from Milwaukee, they're already kind of priced accordingly. So they're not going to be the greatest value. If you look at the Milwaukee guys, right? So we take a look. Drew Holiday is almost 9K. That's as if Giannis is out type of price tag for him. Chris Middleton's 8.2. Same thing. It's they're priced at a point where Giannis needs to be out. Love going double center, although I had Nurkic last night. Yeah, double center looks like a solid strategy today. If you do like going Ayton, that's kind of what it comes down to. I do have a few double center options that I like today that I've built so far. But yeah, it comes down to, another center that I really like today is James Wiseman. James Wiseman's another center that I really, really like. So for example, Wiseman and Ayton. So if Wiseman's point per dollar right now for me is at 5.3. Ayton's is at 5.2. So Wiseman kind of slightly gets the edge because Wiseman is a guy, especially with all these guys missing, Wiseman can go absolutely crazy. We've seen, he's starting to really open up, starting to do very, very good. So he's definitely interesting with how thin they are. So yeah, definitely have some interesting Wiseman as well for a double center. Wiseman points and rebounds, 26.5. Let me check it out. Wiseman points and rebounds. Let me see where I got Wiseman for points and rebounds. My favorite Wiseman prop. They kind of have him elevated, which makes sense. They elevated him a little too high. I do like the points over. I lean over on his points, James Wiseman. The next prop that I like for Wiseman is going to be PRA. Outside of that, you're really starting to push it because they really elevated them. Remember, yes, all these guys are out, but Vegas already has that in mind when they put these props out. So the best ones for Wiseman is, like I said, the points probably over 16.5. Hi, Karen. Favorite forward plays on DK tonight. So my favorite forward plays, spend up is going to be Tatum and Giannis. Those are the two stud forwards. If you look at the two top projected guys on this slate today, they're both forwards. It's Tatum and Giannis. So keep that in mind. Both of the top spend ups, everywhere you look, is going to be Tatum and Giannis. Both of these guys are forward positions, right? So that's interesting. The forward spot is an interesting spot because then you've got Duarte who can go at forward, or you can play him at guard. You've got the Eugene guy I talked about who's 3'8" for Detroit, who's going to get extra run. Rodney McGruder, who's getting to, like, when I say Rodney McGruder, I mean like he's on the very edge of me being interested in playing him. You feel what I'm saying? Eugene's probably the forward. Eugene and Duarte are the two forwards I'd probably put at forward that I like today. Would you play Wiseman and Jackson together? Absolutely. What does closing last 10 minutes on prop tools? So when you wake up in the morning, right? When lines are first put on a player, those are called opening lines. So when you first wake up and you look at a player's lines, most of those are opening lines. Like, it's where Vegas put the line. Okay, that's called an opening line. Now, as the day goes on, people bet on either side of that line, and it will move based on where the money was moved to. And right before lock, it'll be a close. It'll close right at lock. Right when a game starts, it'll close. And whatever that line is at when it closes, that's the closing line. Okay, so the closing line gives you an idea of over the last 10 games, how often has he closed higher or lower than where his prop is at. So I think it's an interesting thing to look at. That's why we have it over on the prop tool at proxmateeasy.com. Because not only looking at his last 10, like how often he's gone over or under is cool to look at, but also the closing last 10 is something a lot of people don't talk about. That's also interesting. Kind of shows you the way that shit, moves on normal occasions. What do you like as your two center builds? Currently, I'm playing Ayton, Isaiah Jackson. Ayton, Isaiah Jackson, or Wiseman, Isaiah Jackson? I wouldn't play McGruder if he was my brother. Yeah, I mean, if McGruder was sitting right here next to me right now, and he was like, "Are you gonna play me, man, please?" I'd probably backhand the shit out of him for even saying that. So probably not. But I have to accept the fact that he's a value today. I'm probably not playing him, but I have to mention him to the masses because McGruder does have an amazing opportunity tonight because it's a beautiful spot. Like, a lot of people are missing. So guys like McGruder could go out and drop 30. And at his price, he's great value. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like him, but I got to mention him. Kelly Oubre over or hook? What do you think? Kelly Oubre, which prop are you talking about? What prop type are you talking about? And I'll let you know. My favorite Ube prop. Let me. What Ube? My favorite Kelly prop. Oh, Kelly Olynyk. Olynyk. I got you. Olynyk points. I got you. All right. So for Kelly Olynyk, my favorite's rebounds. That's the one popping the best. But when we look at Olynyk points, I need to just sort points real quick. There we go. Okay. Olynyk. I have Olynyk projected at 11.7, so 0.2 higher than where the prop line's set. It's not like he's gone over in 7 of his last 10. He's the closing line's been higher than this in 8 of the last 10. So yeah, you're getting a little bit of a value, but that matchup's not great, and he's not popping super hard on the prop tool, so he's not a prop I really gonna probably put money towards. I know y'all like Jimmy Butler under, but you think he still might hit over? Oh, do I think Jimmy Butler could hit over? Anything could happen, obviously. Obviously, sports betting, anything can happen with him. He could for sure. We do lean under a little bit, but I mean, obviously he could. Ain't it a little revenge game for him? Who are you talking about? Oh, you talking about Olynyk? Maybe. Maybe I don't think these guys really. I don't think in that type of situation he's really tripping on it. I was like, damn, the Hornets not even playing when I heard Oubre. Yeah. How about Brook Lopez for center? Brook Lopez on DraftKings or FanDuel? I'm not going to be playing him on DraftKings. There's too many options. You liking Nembhard at guard tonight, Cam? Colin, absolutely. Kessler over 9.5 points. What you got, Kessler? Kessler over 9.5 points. Yes, I have him at 10.6. So 1.09 differential for the over at 9.5. So yes, I would go over Kessler, but quicker than I go over for Olynyk. Laughing my ass off, I almost crashed. What do you mean? What made you almost crash? Nem is going to be 80%, but he's a lock probably. Yeah. So there's certain guys tonight that are going to be incredibly high owned, y'all. Incredibly high owned. But in certain instances, you need to just take it and get difference elsewhere where you can. Livers and Hayes, money, absolutely, especially their props. We got their props in pretty early. I love both of them. I love Livers, love Hayes. Prop Tool loves them today. Makes complete sense with all the people they're missing today. I'm interested to see all propsmadeeasy.com members. I'm interested to see what big value plays pop later once news starts dropping, starting lineup starts dropping, and where things move. I'm interested to see if we're able to get like a 2 differential, 3 differential type value plays. So that's a big time when I like to refresh the prop tool often, so I can see when any huge value pops in, I can immediately get it before it's caught. There's certain times where the props made easy tool makes it like it makes it so easy to be able to get those value plays that bump within like 5 minutes. But if you catch it, you get it in pretty easily. So, and I know you're gonna love it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Are you doing MLB when they start? Of course. Come on now. I'm excited. I'm excited about baseball, man. Me and my developers and my other guys at Props Made Easy, we're already working on the MLB tool as much as we can. We kind of need to have Vegas information and stuff like that we don't have right now, but we're getting prepared for MLB prop tool to release and to be just destroying MLB. Taco Tuesday finna be easy money tomorrow. You already know. Hell yeah. Taco Tuesdays are my favorite days. I love tacos. And I love the tacos on Prize Picks. Got to go in on it. Booker has been going crazy with no Durant. I like him as a spend up. He's definitely one of the options, yes. But he's a guard. So remember, Colin, remember your, roster construction. You got to keep an eye on that. You already have Trae Young, who's an amazing option. So it's like if you take Booker, you're having to get off of a Trae Young type. The NHL bet's gotta hit tonight. NHL, man, I love what I got in the NHL video earlier on. Like, we got Rantanen at way too low. Rantanen at 2.5. Have they bumped Rantanen? Somebody let me know. Have they bumped Rantanen up from 2.5 yet? Because that's crazy. Rantanen at 2.5? That was criminal. Vegas had the line at 3.5. Prize Picks had him at 2.5. Immediately, I remember earlier today, I refreshed the hockey tool and saw Rantanen at the very top. I was like, what the hell? Yes, sir. Gotta take that. Need that. Forward 3,700 or less on DK. All right, so if you only have 3,700 or less, oh, I wish you could get that 100 for Eugene from Detroit. Probably Rodney McGruder. Sorry, I hate to say it. Probably Rodney McGruder with how thin they are. Hit that like button. Yes, sir. Drop a like down below if you haven't already. 62 people in here. We should have 150 likes. Not a popular pay down option, but if Terrence Ross play getting 20 plus minutes again, I like him for 3.7. That's interesting. Love has hit points and rebounds every game since being put in the starting lineup and snatching all rebounds from Bam. He's not popping on the tour, though. Let me see. Let me check out points and rebounds for Kevin Love if he's on here. Yeah, I have Kevin Love as unders. I have Kevin Love. I have him points and rebounds. I have him at 12.8, almost 13. His line's at 13.5. So it feels like his line's kind of accurate. Like they have his line set really well. Good luck, everyone, with some money tonight. Let's get it, y'all. Let's get this money tonight, y'all. Big DFS week. That's what I'm focused on for this week. Obviously, the props are easy. Propsmadeeasy.com, they give me the props easy. That's easy work. But DFS, yeah, man. I'm grinding to get this DFS sweeping this week. I want nothing but green all week. Drop a like down below if you haven't already. Thank you guys for joining me, man. Like 1 more minute. Any last questions? Anybody think of any last questions you want to get in before I head out? Go to propsmadeeasy.com for the props. If you're into player props and you don't play DFS, propsmadeeasy.com. And if you're interested in DFS Optimal, what we do, we got you. Greenlightdfs.com. That's pinned. Feel like my trade pick over 2.53 is going to hit early. It's a tough one. I've already talked many times about how there's certain props I don't really mess with. Like I don't mess with free throws. I don't mess with threes. It's just not me. I don't like I don't care to really get involved in those type of props. I prefer to stick with the main ones and go heavier on those. Um, yeah, I mean, it's people can be streaky. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to bet on stuff like that. But yeah, 2.53s feels just in my brain kind of feels low, but I wouldn't know. I use the Props Made Easy tool and I rock with it and I trust in it because it's taking all this data so I don't have to waste my time looking at all the research and doing all this stuff. Props Made Easy immediately is telling me the best plays. That's what I use. That's it. Props Made Easy don't have it. I'm not playing it. If they have it, I'm playing the best ones. You like JJ with no Adams and no Morant? Yeah, he's interesting for sure. You got any World Baseball Classic bets? Nah. I don't start my baseball bets until MLB starts. I don't really get involved in that stuff like that. Thank you guys for joining me, man. I'll see y'all again tomorrow, all right? Around this same time, 2:30 to 3 o'clock Central Time. I will see y'all again tomorrow. Let's smash this shit today. DFS, banger, props, sweeping. Everything's going to be great. Thank you guys for joining me as always, man. Good luck tonight, y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow stream, all right? Peace.